And welcome back to another replay analysis for the new Genesis format. And this time I am playing a different deck. I'm not playing Voiceless Voice. I play my pet deck, my favorite deck, Branded. I will also make a deck profile for that brand list. It's exactly 100 points. It doesn't play Albion. No, it doesn't play Lubellion. That's the thing. It plays Mirror Jade, Brand Fusion, and then Cartesias. So yeah, you already have 75 points. Then you also play Droll and stuff like that, and also Allure. So yeah, this is the list. I will post it later in a different deck profile, so we can get a good look at it. But yeah, right here I'm playing high-rated DB with the Genesis format. I'm playing against 60 cards. Paleo. This is a really long match. It went for I think 60 plus minutes, so it would have been double loss in a real Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, we played this out, so it was a really interesting and good match. It was a lot of fun. We played 3 games, so yeah. Um, Right now, here I'm starting. My hand is really good. I have an Aluber, I have Theater as a follow up. If I get interrupted, I have the Branded Sword. It's important to play here in this format because we only have like one Mirror Jade. We have resources that get emptied really fast if we don't have Lubellion. So, yeah, I think it's important to play the Branded Sword. And yeah, let's just go into it. And I will start with the Aluber. Usually you won't get hit with a lot of hand traps because a lot of decks want to use their engine. So it's not really common that people play a lot of hand traps. Some people can, but other decks can't. So it's really strong to have a card like Branded Fusion that if it resolves is like super strong. So yeah, don't have a picture for Branded Fusion, but yeah, what else? You guys know what Branded Fusion does. No, the picture is there. I activate Branded Fusion. I don't get an Ash. I play Albus and Romarin. Then, yeah, Romarin right here is for being able to use to go easily into Mirror Jade. You will see it right now. I will go Chanic 1 for Albion. Chanic 2 is Romarin. Romarin sends from the extra deck a plant monster. Um, it doesn't matter which one. You can also play a synchro monster. It just sends one, and then you just banish it with the Albion. You can banish. Normally, I just go banish Albus and then banish this one to just go for Mirror Jade. But right here, I'm playing a bit different. I could have also done this different. I don't think this was necessarily correct. To banish the Predaband Abomoloides, but I could have just banish the Rumarin right here because I'm going for a Text Dragon right now, the Masquerade. I do this because I want to be able to special summon Cartesia right now because I want to leave Albus in the graveyard. So yeah, I also do that, use Cartesia effect, and then we just go Cartesia and fuse those two into another tax string. So yeah, I could have also done this different, just activated Theater, leave the Cartesia in hand, but I actually want to have the Cartesia on the field to be able to do it again in the next turn. I just misclick here, I cannot even fuse that. I want to have another text dragon, so yeah, I have the double text dragon right here, so whatever he does, it costs him something. And I also have Branded Sword in the end phase. I can set another card. I leave the Theater in graveyard in the hand because it doesn't really do a lot here. Also, the other on-field effect doesn't help me, so I just leave it in hand because if I go for Mirror Jade next turn, and then I can send the other dragon, how's it called, Rindram, and then I can use Rindram to get back the Albus. So it's always good to have a card to trigger Albus in on the field, right? So I just leave the Despia Theater in the hand. But yeah, this is not a good board against the deck he's playing. I wasn't sure what I was playing against, so I just went for a normal board, and he just normals and then immediately goes into Typhon. I wasn't expecting that because not a lot of people play Typhoon because he actually costs some points. But this is a really good move because this actually instantly checks my whole board because he can just give one to the hand and run over the other one. So yeah, I cannot out this with Mirror Jade because it's Mirror Jade is 3k. So yeah, I actually have a big problem here. This outs a lot here. So now I'm thinking what I want to do here. He goes end main. I just think about, can I do anything against that? I decide not to do anything. Yeah, I just lose one of my tech strengths then, but yeah. Then I was expecting him to just flip this to the hand and just go for it, but he doesn't do that. And I also don't want to do anything here. And in the end phase, I'm thinking about just reborning the other tax dragon to be able to fuse it away with Albus and Masquerade to just run over the Typhon with the Mirror Jade. So yeah. But I'm waiting here. I think it's okay to wait here because he set at 5 cards now. He has Ice Dragon's Prison, which is really strong against this deck. He has Marella, he has Wabuku, which is like super annoying because I cannot out Typhon then. He can, with Leandrella, he can get back something, I think. Yeah, return it to the graveyard. You can return a Banished Trap. And he also has Trap Pick, so he has a really strong setup there. I decide to send Retribution to be able to get back my Branded Fusion, and then I draw for the Mercuria. Then yeah, I get back the Brand Fusion, and then use the Brand Fusion, Albus and Cartesia, go for Albion, then use Albion's effect. He lets me, and so I just fuse for the Mirror Jade. So I try to go to the battle phase now, run over this. He goes for Wabuku. Okay, I'm figuring out super. Now I can do nothing. Then I go for the Grangoniol effect. Send it to graveyard the ad libitum because I was thinking it's good to have an ad libitum in graveyard when I still have Brandon Red, so I'll be able to just recycle the Mirror Jade. So I think this was an okay play here. And yeah, I won't get back the Cartesia in the end phase, unfortunately, because I forget it. So now he goes end main, goes over the other tax dragon that is still alive. So yeah, not a lot of things I can do against that. And now he decides to get me the Mirror Jade back. I decide to just negate it with the Mercuria because I want to be able to run over his Typhon in the next turn. So yeah, now this time I just think about getting the Cartesia back, and then it's my turn. I get an opening, and then I just try to run over it again because I need to get this Typhon from the board. He activates Morella to send a trap. And then I think, yeah, he sets, of course, he sets the rollback, and with rollback he can just copy the Waboku, and yeah, I won't be able to attack anymore. Then still in battle phase, he gets back the rollback to the graveyard, and right here, I don't know if I chain actually to chain block this. It could be correct here to chain to not make him able to summon back the Morella. And I actually do. I chain block with the Masquerade because it's actually free and you cannot get back. But he just chains another trap, the Trapaholic, and then he sends the other card. Now I think if I want to chain something else, I actually decide to chain the Branded Opening, so he won't be able to get back the Morella. And I decided to discard Despia Theater here because there's nothing good I can fuse in here. I don't have Despia monsters on the field to be able to float something, so I think it's the better thing to get rid of. And then I go for the Despian Tragedy. I decide not to special summon it, to just get it to the hand because I can fuse then away with Cartesia. And he gets the Fiend Griefing, which is super annoying because he can just shuffle something back from my graveyard, and yeah, he dodges the Branded Red with that card. So yeah, then Masquerade comes to the field, and now it was really important that I get the Tragedy to the hand, because if Masquerade is on the field, Tragedy is on the field, I cannot go for Cartesia and doesn't get back the Tragedy here, right? So now he goes for Ice Dragon's Prison. I'm thinking if I can chain block here again. I decide not to chain block with the Branded Red, I think. Yeah, and then he can chain the Morella. Oh no, it's the Leancoela. I don't know how to pronounce those. And then he shuffles back. Oh no, he summons. He summons it because there's nothing for me fairy type to banish, so he has to summon the ad libitum. And then I was a bit confused, and now the soul comes back, and I will use the Grangoniol because it summoned a monster was summoned through a monster effect. And then he right here he does something really silly. I go for the Luluva Lilith because I thought maybe I could just negate the mosquito, but this card is super annoying because I have to attack him, and if I attack him I get burned. So yeah, this is like a really bad situation for me to be in. And oh yeah, and now I see I cannot summon this because I used Branded Fusion before, so it would be cheating to summon a Synchro monster here, so I have to summon the Quirites here. I think it would have been better to have the Ludover Lilith to be able to negate the Mosquito. And yeah, now I'm realizing I have to attack into those, and in the battle phase I cannot use the Quirites effect to make something to 0, which is, yeah, sad. But now I use the brand in red because I'm trying to fuse my cards away to so they can be in defense mode, but yeah, he just checks it. And but I target the Quam actually here because I know he has griefing, and it's good to have it recycled to be back into the deck. So yeah, at least I have it back in the deck. And then he sends the blackjack. Now I have to attack, and but yeah, he's first using his effect to stack his deck, and then he gets a mark, negates him, and yeah, then I have to attack, get a lot of damage for every attack, and then yeah, I almost die. And right here I'm trying something more with the Gatija, but at this point it's like a pretty bad situation because I cannot use the Mirror Jade. I'm trying to negate the Mosquito with the Dragosapelia, but this only negates the activated effects. So the Quirites is still not live to be able to make attack points to 0. So yeah, this is a big problem that he has the Mosquito on board, and it's also I think the reason why I lose this here. He still has the Typhon on the field and I cannot do anything, so I just scoop it up here because I was really not in a situation where I could win this. I had no life points left. He could have just went to the battle phase and then attack into a monster, into the Quirites that the Mosquito counter had on it, and then I would have just lost. So this was losing there, even though I went first and set it up 2 Masquerade Dragons. So yeah, now I decide to go first again and see what else it brings, because now I know the matchup and know what I'm against. Okay, I start here with the Aluber, and I could have also went Branded Opening first to be able to play around draw, so maybe this would have been the better play. But yeah, I decide that he doesn't play any hand traps because he plays 60 cards, so yeah. I thought him having draw was really unlikely, so I want to play it differently and maybe not use the opening at all. But yeah, then I just go Brand Fusion, see what he does. And right here, I actually think I sided out the Rumarin because I don't want it to play again into his Typhon. This was a really big fear of mine. So I just go for the Albion right here and do nothing else. And I'm thinking a bit about it here, but I don't want him to give him the other option. So I just sent the Cartesia to be able to add it back in the next turn, and then I just set it the opening, and I set it the retribution, and then I finally bring out the end times. And I wanted to make this game slow, not play against into the Typhon again, because this was a big problem in the last game, because I couldn't out Typhon because he always had like Woboku and stuff like that, and there was no inherent way for me to out the Typhon. Yeah, I have the final bringer and of the end time here, but I don't want to actually play into that so I decided to play it just really slowly. And yeah, I have a retribution here, so I can out something. I have the final bring of the end times, and I have another openings to play. So I just go slowly here, see what he does, and I don't know if this actually was the right decision to play it like that. Could have been also good to establish the Mirror Jade here, but then he would have been able to just go into a Typhon again. And I wanted to use my final bring on the end times on something else. So yeah, he just goes for the time tier Morganite. Doesn't help him right there, but in the next turn this will be a good thing. And then he, yeah, just sets the back check. This could have also been a normal sum into, yeah, the Typhon. And then sets Rise to full height, Waboku, and Torrential Tribute. Then in the end phase, I decide to use opening. Ditch another opening, go for Quem. Quem effect. I sent here the Albion because I don't really know which route I want to go yet, and if I send Albion, I can send anything else, right? So I actually have the Cartesia, so I can send with this any branded card I actually need then. So right now I use then final bring of the end times, pop a back row and pop the Albion, actually hit the Wabuku, which is pretty great, and then I can add back the Cartesia because if use monster will get into the graveyard and then use the Albion effect, get the branded in red, and yeah, then call this turn. Still have the Albion in grave, so I can send the Retribution to add back the branded fusion, so this is fine. I actually top deck a DD Crow, which is pretty good in this matchup, and yeah. Then I actually start to play Cartesia effect in the graveyard, special summon it, and because I have the Fallen of Arbus in graveyard, and then right here I think I make the first Text Dragon, yes. And the Text Dragon is like really important in this matchup because he has to pay half of his life points to use the transaction rollback. Yeah, the transaction rollback, and yeah, he has to pay half of his life points. So the Text Dragon even hurts more. So every 600 hurts more, and then after that, it's hard for him to pay a lot of 600, and he also has to use a lot of effects to play because he always wants to chain his Palios in the graveyard to reborn them. So Text Dragon actually pretty strong in this matchup. So and also it plays around him having like Waboku or something like that, and I'm not being able to attack. But if he loses by just using effects, this is also a win condition in itself in this matchup. So I try to establish as fast as possible a Text Dragon, then I use Guiding Crem on the summon to get back the Albion, and then get Albion back into the graveyard again for being able to set something again in the end phase. I don't use a fusion summon here. I actually do the Lola Lilith because tuner and non-tuner, and then I have this back in the graveyard. I don't know if this was the correct play, but I think it was kind of cool to try it out. And I think resource wise this was also good. I don't have to Quem anymore. That's the bad thing about this play, but I wanted to have this Albion back in the graveyard, so I could have also just reborn the Cartesia and established another Text Dragon in the opponent's turn. I think this would have been a better play to just use Quem, reborn Cartesia, and Cartesia's Quem is also a Despia monster, so I would have been able to just go for another monster because I already had the brand in red, the Retribution. There was not a lot of things to search here, right? So I don't think this was particularly the correct play, but I thought it was cool to just do it. And then I just go battle phase, attack. He thinks a bit if he wants to use something like Rise to Full Height or Torrential Tribute, but yeah, he doesn't. But in hindsight, I see that this was actually the right play because yeah, it's Sphere mode. If I had Cartesia, Quem, and the Text Dragon here, he could have used the Sphere mode. So it was actually the right play, even though it was the wrong play. Yeah. Then I use the effect Cartesia, add it back, and then the Albion, get another brand in red. I could have also used the brand in red here in the end phase to just get something back, like the Queen, anything, but I decided not to do it. And the thing is, I said I have the Albion in graveyard to send the brand Retribution. No, I don't have the Albion in graveyard to send it. I could have sent it from the field, I think. I should have done that. Yeah. Oh no, I cannot. I can from your hand or deck to the graveyard. So there was no chance of getting Brand Retribution in a graveyard in this turn. So yeah, this was a fail to send there, but I think it was the best thing I had there. So yeah, there's no way to get Brand Retribution because it's on the field. I actually forgot about that. So yeah, this was the most thing I could do. He actually draws two here because he has the Time Tearing Morganite, crazy card in that rank game. Um, but yeah, he draws two Palios, which is actually good for him. But in the end phase, I use now red and get back the Quam. So yeah, it's the same if I use it in my turn, but yeah, it's fine. Then I top deck Tragedy, which is pretty good, and then I just normal summon the Quam here. I think this is not the correct play. The correct play here would have been to special summon the Cartesia first, because I have the Albus in graveyard, and then I could dodge something, a chain on Palios, so this was definitely the wrong thing to do first, to special summon the Quem. So it would have been to normal summon the Quem. Would have been correct to special summon the Cartesia here. This would have been 10 out of 10 times the best play. I decided to send Albus because I sided out the other trap to get something back from the bench play. So this is the only thing I had here. Now I try to correct the mistake to special summon and try to special summon the Cartesia. He changed the Olenitis to actually pop the Retribution, which is really good for me. And yeah, I just let this being popped. And then he chains the Absolute King backcheck and sets another Palio card, a Canadia. This is good to flip face down, but now I have the Cartesia, and right now I use the Cartesia effect. He chains, has to pay for the Text Dragon to book it. Now I wasn't really sure, and we checked, but yeah, if you book the Text Dragon and then flip it face up again, he still is the Text Dragon because he's still fusion summoned, so he still has to pay something. So it's not really good for him to book this because I can just flip it back up because I haven't declared an attack this turn yet. So, but then he changed the Olenitis, also has to pay 600 again, then activates Rise to Full Height, and tries to he targets my Luluvalif to double its defense because he just wants to have this in graveyard. And now I realize if I let the Leonidas resolve and get back to the field, he has a monster on the field. And if he has a monster on the field, he can use Rise to Full Height to target the monster, and then the monster is the only thing that can be attacked, right? So if I run over the Leonidas, I cannot attack directly anymore. So right here, I decide to use the Diddy Crow to just banish the Olenitis, so that he's not able to have another monster on the field, right? And yeah, then this resolves, and I fuse for another Text Dragon. I decide to go for the other Text Dragon right here, because whatever he does, he has to do it now then, because if I flip back the other Masquerade, he has to pay 1,200 for every effect, and he has two effects left. And if he wants to chain a Canadia, if you use a trap, chain something, then he's basically out of effects and he cannot do anything anymore. So I just go for another Text Dragon. He also realizes that he has now a big problem, but he still has Torrential Tribute, but this does nothing right here because I have Branded Opening. Yeah, I lose a Text Dragon that's booked face down, but yeah, I still yeah, I was confused here because I said if he has any quick effects and then wanted to use Cram, and then I corrected myself that I cannot do that, because if I ask him if he has any quick effects, then I cannot use any trigger effects anymore. He was confused, but yeah, so I ended not using Quen because I passed priority and he used Torrential Tribute. So he torrentials my field, and but I changed the Torrential the Brand Retribution because I don't want him to special summon back the Canadia. And if you read the Paleo cards, they can only special summon themselves if they get chained to the activation of the trap card. If I use the effect of a trap card in the graveyard, they cannot special summon themselves. So I chain blocked for the Torrential Tribute, add back the Branded Fusion, then everything else gets popped, and I just protect. I cannot protect the face down card, but I still have one Text Dragon, which is enough right here. And he also realizes that and tries to go for Leancholia and tries again to special summon back the Canadia to use Rise to full height, but yeah, he slowly gets out of life points, and I still have another thing to chain block the Branded Red. I use that, and then yeah, he scoops because he lost there. Okay, now game 3. He actually goes first now. This is kind of scary because it's trap pack and he goes first. And but I actually have some back row removal. I I don't know if this helps a lot because his traps always have grave effects, but yeah, my hand is kind of good because I have a way to play, I have Albion to draw, I have back row removal, I have DD Crow, so it's actually a good hand. His hand is also, I would say, pretty good because he has the Time Tearing Morganite and 4 traps. I don't know if you particularly want to draw the rollback, but he has Trapaholic to send it, so I think it's fine. Yeah, he just does the classic thing. He activates and then sets 4 cards, and then it's my turn. Right here, I think I just start with the Twin Twisters here. I think a bit about it, but yeah, I just go and shotgun the Twin Twister then and get back the Ad libitum graveyard. I think this is the best thing to send here because it has no immediate value in the hand. If I fuse it, right, and then I have something. If I for example draw with the Albion a Branded Red, I have something to chain it, right? So I have a target in graveyard. But I doubt that it actually is the correct thing to just blind use the Twin Twisters here. I think I should have just waited because I actually know all his cards have grave effects, but I'm a bit scared of traps that actually do something, for example Torrential Tribute or something like that, and I thought maybe I could hit something like that. But yeah, as you see right now, I just hit Fiend Grieving and Trapaholic, and yeah, so this does nothing because with Fiend Grieving he just shuffles back the Ad libitum, sends something, and he just also chains Trapaholic. So it's actually a wasted Twin Twister here, which is super bitter for me. And yeah, this is the reason why I shouldn't have chained it at all. He sends the transaction rollback and then just sets a trap deck with the Trapaholic, which is kind of funny, I think. And then sends the backcheck and stacks his deck with the backcheck. He actually gets Needlebug Nest, Canadia, and Waboku, which is crazy. I think he chooses to put a Needlebug Nest on top. And yeah, then actually sets the Needlebug Nest and then actually uses it immediately because it's fine to use it immediately because he has a rollback in graveyard, so I think it's a good decision to do that. And yeah, he mills 5, goes actually kind of good cards. He has Canadia twice, Torrential Tribute, Rise to full height, so he doesn't die. So yeah, it's actually a good mill there, right? And then I don't understand why he's not. Oh no, because he milled the Canadia with the Needlebug Nest, so it's fine that he did not chain it. Yeah, that's correct. And then I use Albion. I just set the Retribution here. I think it's okay to be always able to chain block the traps, the Paleozoic traps, so I send it here because if I use the opening, I always have the option to just chain block with the Retribution. So I just send it here, and it's always good to have it in the graveyard. Then I draw another DD Crow, which is actually really good in this matchup. And now I still have Fusion Deployment and Planet Opening, which plays through nearly everything. So I use Deployment and show Gringonol, go for Catesia, then activate Opening. Sadly, I have to discard a DD Crow here, which is kind of sad, but yeah. I still have one left to interrupt him. He activates Morella to send one trap from his deck, which is kind of scary. I don't want to change the DD Crow here, so I just let him just special summon the Canadia. And then he goes for Lost Wind. Lost Wind actually kind of scary because it can set itself for free basically. And then I go for the Oliver, use Oliver as effect, and get Brand Fusion. And then I activate Brand Fusion. then Romarin and go for Albion, and then use Albion effect again, Romarin effect, and he goes Lost Wind, which is he cannot activate in this turn, but in the next turn, which is actually good, and there will be definitely a next turn because he just uses Rise to full height to target Canadia, so I cannot attack anything else than Canadia in this turn, and yeah, that's Lost Wind, and right here I don't think this is the correct decision because what I do now, I activate Albion and banish the Romarin and the Despia Jesper, Aluba, the Jester of Despia, to just go for Text Dragon. I think I could have done this more clever because if I just chain the Cartesia here and fuse, I don't know, the Albion and the Aluber, I will have one Text Dragon, and then I resolve the Albion and just banish, I don't know, the Crow and the Aluber, and then have another Text Dragon. So I would have had two, so this would have been the way better play here, I think. But yeah, I did not see that in the situation, so I just use in the next chain the Cartesia and go for the Grangonol, and then Grangonol effect. Right here, I decided to send the Garura because I think it's the best thing to send here. I could have also went for the Titanica, the Ash Dragon, to special summon the Quem in the end phase, which would have also been fine. But there is not really a good thing to send with Quem, right? Right, so I think it's okay to just go for the draw one here because I want to have some cards in my hand. And I fortunately top decked Cosmic Cyclone, which is a really big game changer here because now I can just banish the Lost Wind and then my Masquerade will be able to burn infinitely. So yeah, I actually go Battle Phase first and yeah, then go for the Cosmic Cyclone to just banish this and have it out of the way, and my Text Dragon will be able to text in the next turn. And if he uses the Transaction Rollback, he only has like a few effects left in the for him to use, and here's only one Lonely Triptych left, so yeah. And then I go end phase, use all of my effects, set the brand in red. I don't know if setting the brand in red was the correct thing here to do, but I could have just kept it in hand to be able to just chain block Morellas and stuff like that if he goes for the trap trick in the end phase, which he actually does. So he has to pay some life points and chains, has to pay more life points. So I think it's actually fine because he always has to pay life points for that. And then goes for the Daruma Karma Cannon because he wants to have a quick out against the Masquerade and also uses it. And then I just chain the Retribution to get back the Rend Fusion to be able to chain block it, his Canadia, so he cannot get it back. Yeah, we let that resolve and then everything gets booked. And I ask him now if he still has like the protection effect, or I will ask it later, I think. If this still has the protection effect, he says it doesn't if it was booked. I don't know if this is correct, but I just trust him here. And now he tries to use the transaction rollback. I just crow the target, so he's not able to set trap trick, use it trap trick again. So, no, not set it, use it again with the rollback. So I think this is correct to just not let him play here anymore with the DD Crow. He draws 2 cards because of his Time Tearing Morganite, gets an Ultimate Slayer, which is actually crazy, and another Rise to Full Height. And then right here, I'm actually a hell of a lot of scared because he could just went for Typhon and just get over me and yeah, just win from there. So I immediately here use the Branded in red, which I also think is the right decision to just get Albus and then Albus and the Grangonol go for Mirror Jade and then Mirror Jade just banish this. Yeah, he goes for the Ultimate Slayer then and can draw another card with Garura, but I have to follow up with Titanic, so it's actually fine. And yeah, he draws another rollback and I get the Quem end phase, so he just scoops because there's no way for him to come back. I just I just flip the other Masquerade to make another Masquerade, so I just win this game. So Masquerade was really the deciding factor in this game because it just made it for him impossible to stall the game as much as he can. So because every effect costs him something, so Masquerade actually was the MVP here to be able to win this. All right, thank you so much for watching the video. Also stay tuned for the deck profile of Branded. I already filmed it, and I will get it to the channel later. All right, have a good day. See you guys. Bye bye.